Welcome to Keyforge and Adventures. I am a Keyracken. And we being doomed. Are you ready for this? Here I come.
Alright, so here you have it. This is the game setup. As you can see, I'm going to be doing this and using it, but basically in the set of the print and play set, there is the Keyracken card. They have an oversized one, and they have the place that printed it made me a regular size one. So for the sake of space, we are going to use the regular size Keyracken token, as I'm trying to play this as clean as possible so that you guys can see everything that I'm doing. There is a Tide card, and then basically there is a bunch of adventure cards that we're going to basically shuffle up and give the Keyracken a deck. And then basically we'll have our deck and we'll have our keys and we will fight the Kraken and see if we can win it. It seems that simple. It's a pretty quick setup, as you can see here. The Keyracken play area you can see is going to be the Keyracken's deck, the Keyracken's discard pile. There's the Keyracken card, which starts the battle line, and his battle line basically plays to the right of the Keyracken. So we're going to set it up like that. We're going to have a shared amber pool because there's no reason for me to have two amber pools. So we'll set the Keyracken deck right next to the Keyracken card, where it is next to his battle line. We'll keep the tide counter basically in play, like where his artifacts would go, and then we will underneath the deck, and then we will play our deck below that, and we'll basically try to see what happens as we move forward with this. So the idea here is that it will be quick and simple. The game doesn't look that hard fundamentally, but we will have the rules up as we go too. As you can see down here in the two monitors, I'm going to have like right there, I'm going to have all the rules as we go through, just to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong and shorting my experience here with the Keyracken. So hopefully this is fun for y'all, and let's get to it. Alrighty, well we're back and we're ready to get this game moving. As you can see, I have the Keyracken here he has 6 armor on him and 30 life. That is the starting place for the Keyracken as this game starts off. And I am playing Lechner Rottwell's Cadet, as I have showed you guys in the preview to this. And we're going to get this game started. So basically it says that I basically take my first turn the way I would normally take my first turn. So I am the first player, so I will draw 6. Let's see how my opening hand looks. I have a red hand registry. I have a Deepwater Gruin. I have a Ritual of Balance, another Deepwater Gruin, an Orpheal Seas Chosen, and a Talamage. So it's a pretty good start, I think, for my opening hand. So we're going to slide that down as I want to. Actually, I just put the hand in my hand so that we have more space. All right. So, but you saw what I had. So I think my obvious first turn here is to go ahead and play Untamed. The tide is low, your opponent gains 1. Alright, so I get to play my 2 Deepwater Gruins and my Ritual of Balance, and I get to draw 3, so you know that my hand was Talamage, Orpheal Seas Chosen, and Red-Handed Registry. I'm going to get to draw 3 on that, so I will play untap all this. I'm not sure that Ritual of Balance even has a place, but I do get 4 amber, so that's a good start for me. I will put my amber on top of my... Actually, I shouldn't put it on top of my deck. That's going to make it annoying. I'll put it over here on top of the keys. So there's 2 amber plus 2 amber for the Gruin. So I have 4 amber. I have the ability to raise the tide, but I don't see a reason to do that yet, as the Kraken is nowhere near making a key. So I will draw 3 cards now. It will be a Old Egad, a Staunch Knight, as you can see, and a Positron Bolt. So we're doing okay. The object here is to forge keys so we can get that armor down, and that way when we attack the Kraken and he takes damage, we'll be able to wear him out a little bit, right? So the Kraken's turn now comes up, and it's time to play. So the Kraken is going to first try to advance. He doesn't have 3 or 6. He does not have 3 or 6 amber, so he will not advance at this point. So the cost, it does get modified by cards in play, but I have nothing in play that would modify that, so no worries. And then for Next part is the active player, which is me, draws adventure cards. So we're doing the normal difficulty, so it's going to be 2. So I'm going to take 2 cards from the Kraken and I'm going to draw them and put them in play. All right, so the first one I draw is the Emergence. Destroy one of your artifacts and exhaust 3 of your creatures. So I am going to destroy the Ritual of Life, and then I'm going to exhaust my Gruins. It's pretty rough. That's a rough card to start the game off. There you go. You see it, Emergence. So my guys are getting stunned there, and like put down. Where can I put this? Running out of space here. Got to make a little bit more room here. Ooh, boop. All right, so we're gonna push this over there, and then the second card I drew is Titanic Maw. It says the Keyracken gains skirmish, prey the most powerful creature, and fight, dealing 3 to each neighbor of the creature the Kraken fights. At the end of the Keyracken's turn, if you control no creatures, destroy Titanic Maw. All right, so this is an upgrade that actually goes on the Keyracken, which is kind of scary, right? And it says that he is going to prey. So normally, if there's nothing on the Keyracken from what I've read, the Keyracken will reap to make amber. In this case, he is not going to reap. He is going to gain skirmish, and he is going to basically attack. I'm not gonna exhaust him here, but he's going to attack one of my biggest creatures. So he picks the Gruin, and then he does 3 damage to both the Gruins because of the Titanic Maw. So he's basically preying upon my poor fuzzy Gruins, or my poor deep water Gruins. Excuse me, they're not fuzzy anymore. So pretty good turn for the Kraken there. Good thing for me is that he didn't really add more creatures to the board or anything, so it's just me and him right now. But it will be interesting to see what happens. So then, let's see, active turn. I did that. Creatures, no creatures, no artifacts. Action upgrade. Each upgrade is attached to the Keyracken, so he has that. Any bonus icons, there were none, so he gains nothing. If the adventure deck has no cards when it can be reshuffled, the Keyracken and its creatures are used during the step. So we already fought, so we've done that part where he's used. Each enemy artifact is used. There's no artifacts for him to use, so no worries there. And then the Keyracken and each of his things get readied. So he is now readied, and it's my turn. So power to me. Now, if the Keyracken advances 4 times, he wins. So he has not advanced yet, and he has no amber, so I'm not in a threat of that yet. But I am in a threat where this guy is looking pretty beefy to like hurt my stuff, right? So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play my Positron. I'm going to go Logos. I'm going to play my Positron Bolt to shoot the Kraken, because that gives me 1 amber. So I'm up to 1 amber there extra. So I'm up to 5. That's good for me. And then I'm going to play. I'm going to play Old Egad. And I am then going to play my Talia Mage here, and my Talia Mage now will be 3 power. It will gain 3 power because it has. I played 1 Positron Bolt 3, so she gets a +3, so she's a 6. So Talmage is a Steelheart is a 6 power, and as you can see, I have nothing but Sanctum cards left right now, and I will ready up. And we will draw back to 6. So 1, we draw a Final Analysis. That could be really good. Assert Dominance, and a Captain Crissage. All right, so let's see. Interesting lineup here for me, but I'm not sure what to do against the Keyracken, but we'll figure it out. All right, so Keyracken's turn. So again, we're going to draw his 2 cards. It's going to be a Swift Current and a Devour Hole. So let's see what these are. All right, so this one says Swift Current. It says action: the Keyracken's creatures with the highest power capture 1 amber from you. If you have no amber, destroy Swift Current and lower the tide. All right, so this is an artifact that's coming into play. And basically, it's going to initially just give the Keyracken 2 amber. So that's pretty good for the Keyracken, right? So the Keyracken is going to score 2 amber. So 2 amber, and then he gets an artifact that's going to allow his creatures to capture things when he gets some, but he doesn't have any. Now it says Devour Whole. The second card that I drew is for the remainder of the turn, the Keyracken gains Skirmish and Prey the least powerful creature. It fights, then it fights, then readies. It will fight again when it is used. Oh, that's danger. Danger, Will Robinson. All right, so how am I going to do this? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I get to control the Kraken's attack, so he's going to fight, fighting the lowest creature first. So he'll fight here. He does the 3 damage to this, and when this dies, it's going to ward my 2 creatures to the left and to the right? And so that's good for me. So then my battle line will close down, and we'll have the ward. So now what we can do is we can say, on the second fight, he has this ability that says gain skirmish, prey the most powerful creature, and he will fight, and it deals deal 3 to each neighbor of the creature the Keyracken fights. So he's going to fight, and I'm going to let him fight. I'm going to let him fight into the Talmage Steelheart, which is going to then pop this ward and pop this ward because the 3 points of damage from the skirmish will go there. So now the wards are off. But the creatures do not die, so that's a value to me. And then I would ready up the Kraken, as I didn't think, and then we will ready up his artifact that we have hanging out up here, which is the Swift Current. Hard to see because of how high up I am. But let me bring this down because I'm probably not going to have a lot of artifacts that are going to really matter. So bring this down a little bit, bring this down so you can see it a little bit better, and see the Kraken a little bit better. All right, so here we go. My turn. The reason I did what I did is because I'm definitely going to go into logos here, and I'm going to try to get some work done. And the way I'm going to do that is I am going to play a Captain Cressage, whatever. I'm going to reap with Talia Mage, which will get me to 1 amber extra. So I'm sitting at 6 amber now. That is nice. And then I will play the final analysis, which will kill all my creatures, which is a perk for me because that means I can at least draw 4 cards. So all 4 of these will be destroyed, and I will draw 4 cards. So I draw a Gorm of Orm, a Science, a Chelonia, and a Strange Ordination. So that's pretty good. That's not a bad final analysis for me, as it will give me some more amber to ramp into. And you know that I was already sitting on a handful of Sanctimonious, so that's pretty yummy. That'll be a good thing, and hopefully we will be able to make a dent in this Kraken soon, as he starts to do things. Now, here's the question. Keyracken skirmish prey fight the most powerful, blah, blah, blah. At the end of Keyracken's turn, if you control no creatures, destroy Titanic Maw. Alright, so basically here, I'm going to just... I don't have to... should I discard the Science now? I think I do. I'm going to discard the Science because... there's no sense in keeping it in my hand, as it will end up chaining me once I play these, and hopefully I get into some Untamed. So I'm going to do that and just discard it. And I'm not going to play a creature. I'm going to let this play out. So now it's the Kraken's turn again. So we will see what 2 cards he brings to the table now. So we see Primordial. The Keyracken gains Reap, Archive 1 Adventure card. After a player forges a key, destroy Primordial. So that's going to go on the Keyracken. Good for me is that I get to forge a key next turn at this rate right now. So that will not last long, and we're going to get rid of both of those, hopefully upgrades real quick, and take down 2 of his armor tokens, right? So now the other card he has here is Preternatural Will. Paternal? I don't know. It's not paternal. It's preternatural will. If the tide is low, heal 6 damage from the Keyracken. If the tide is high, you gain 3 chains. So the tide is low, heal 6 damage from the Keyracken. There's no damage on the Keyracken, and it is low. So this card really doesn't do anything. So right now, that was about as good as we can get. And so now we go to the phase where it's his turn to make a move. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to reap for himself, and he's going to gain 1 amber, and he is going to archive 1 card. So we'll put the archive right here because he's going to play that next turn. He plays it every turn. So with the reap in that, he's basically then going to go to his action phases where he's going to use this action. The Keyracking creature with the highest power captures 1 from you. If you have no amber, destroy swift current and lower the tide. So there is nothing on the board for him to use, so he can't use that. So lucky me. It is now my turn, and I get to get rid of the primary, the 2 upgrades that were on the Keyracken, because it says that for Titanic Maw, it says at the end of turn, a Keyracken has no creatures, destroy it, so that gets destroyed. And it says after a player forges a key, destroy primordial thing, and I am going to forge a key with my 6 amber, so I will basically flip, and there's the blue, nice shiny. And now the issue is I have to flip that tide before the Keyracken advances if I want to. If not, then I basically give him 1 step towards his victory, and that would be, I don't know if I want to do that yet, right? So, interesting thoughts. So I'm definitely going to go Sanctum this turn, and by going Sanctum, actually I'm in kind of a rough spot here, right? Because I can't really flip the tide. I didn't think about that. I can't flip the tide, so I'm going to have to give him a key, because I can't play Strange Ordinance because it says play only if the tide is high. I have nothing that is going to raise the tide. Oh well, that was bad planning on my part, but it's part of playing the game as you go, I guess. Alright, so either way, we're going to play a Staunch Knight. We are going to play a Orpheal Sea Chosen. We're going to play the Red-Handed Registry for 1 amber. So we'll get moving on that. 1 amber. We will play the Gorm of Orm, which will give us a chance to at least destroy the Swift Current if we need to. If you have no amber, destroy Swift Tide and lower the tide. Okay, so this is cool because the Keyracken with the highest power, yeah. Oh, it's a part of the action though. That is part of the action. It's not a like after effect. All right, so with that said, I guess that's good because he's gonna perform that action if he gets a creature, and that will kill itself at least. I think it's best to just discard the Strange Ordination because I'm not going to raise the tides anytime soon that I see. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be at basically a Chelonia and assert dominance in hand, and I will ready my cards up. So I have a Red-Handed Registry, a Gorm of Orm, an Orpheal Seas Chosen, and a Staunch Knight. As we pass turn to the Keyracken, which is scary. Oh, and the Keyracken did lose two of his armor because of the key I forged. So put a dent in him at least so far, and I don't know if that's going to go very far, but we'll find out. All right, and so for his turn now, he's going to draw his 2 cards, and he's going to pick up his archive. So his 2 cards, I don't know how this will work, but here's card number 1, here's card number 2. Both are creatures, so that's bad for me in some essence, right? So they'll come into play. They're supposed to be here beside the Kraken, and they come in order, so they go like that. And then the 3rd card from the archive was Tidal Trouble. Tidal Trouble says, stun your most powerful creature and each creature that shares a house with it. If tide is high, you may lower the tide instead. Alright, so that means that I have a exhaust. Oh no, stunning. Oh, that's even worse. Alright, so we're going to stun. What do you want, Harlan? Go find your plate. It's on the table. Alright, so here we have the stuns that will go on to the Staunch Knight Orpheal, Orpheal Sea Chosen. So that happened, and then let's see. Let me make sure there's nothing on these guys. Elusive Slippery Arm is the first card that came out. It's Elusive Reap. If the tide is low, the Keyracken archives one adventure card. Destroyed, deal 3 damage to the Keyracken, ignoring armor. So that's actually kind of good against him, right? And then we have Shield Arm Taunt. Destroyed, 3 damage to the king. So if I can kill these two creatures, they start putting damage on the Keyracken. So that's cool. All right, so all that comes out. Now it's the Keyracken's turn. The Keyracken does have things to fight, but he has nothing that makes him fight, so he's going to... Oh, first of all, he's going to advance, right? I forgot to do that. So three amber, he advances once. So he is in position. That is his advancement token. It is a reap out token, so I know you can't see it that well, but it's there. And it is going to basically be a marker for me. And so we are going to see the Keyracken reap and make an amber because he has nothing else he can do. And then these guys are going to ready up. Or they're not going to ready up until after I use this artifact I forgot about. So it says action if the Keyracken creature with the highest power captures 1 from you. If you have no amber, destroy Swift Power card. So he's going to reap. This guy is going to capture my 1, and then this is going to go away because there's no more amber. And we're going to continue on with this game and see how it goes. So far, not good. Looking not good. Oh, I forgot to draw my 4 cards. So here's my 4 cards. Hydro Cataloger, Cross Porpoises, that's good for me. Deepwater Gruin, that's good. And an Orphean's Lance Chosen. So that's actually it was not a bad draw. So, all right. So that's going to help me out a little bit. All right, cool. So it comes back to my turn then. These guys are going to ready up, right? So that's good for me and the Keyracken. Alright, so you can see that I have Assert Dominance, Deepwater Gruin, Chelonia, Cross Porpoises, Hydro Cataloger, and Orphean Lands Chosen. With that said, I am definitely going to go into Untamed here, as it gives me some options. Alright, so the first thing I can do is I play Cross Porpoises. Cross Porpoises is going to raise the tide, which will flip the tide card over, and it will give me 1 amber. Now at high tide, it says the Keyracken has to pay 6. After the Keyracken advances, lower the tide. All right, so I'm in high tide mode for a little while now. So then I'm going to play Chelonia, which will give me some value. And then I'm going to play Deepwater Gruin, which is going to give me a 3 points of amber because I get 1, 2, and then 3 from the Chelonia. So that's good for me. I'm going to get to basically do that, and I get 3 amber. Then I'm going to play Assert Dominance for the remainder of the turn. A friendly creature gains skirmish, ready and fight with that creature. So I'm going to ready and fight with the Deepwater Gruin. The Deepwater Gruin is going to fight the taunt creature because it has to. It's going to give that taunt creature 2 damage, but no damage will come back to me. So that's good for me in that aspect. And then I'm going to ready up and my turn, and I get to draw 4 cards as the board is situated. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, another EGAD. There's a Cleansing Wave, Orb of Wonder, and a Hammergram. All right. All right. So that's kind of cool. All right. All right. So all right. So that's my hand for next turn. So we kind of know where that's going. All right. Cool. All right, so now it is the Keyracken's turn again. So we check Amber count. Amber count is still 1, so he's good. He has to pay 6 to get out of that. He now has all these creatures basically here that are just hanging out, doing good things. All right, for creature, each creature plays exhaust, and on the right flank of the Keyracken's battle line. Yeah, for the person. Alright, the bonus. I want to see what happens with the creatures. During the step, the Keyracken is used first, and then each ready creature in the battle line is used, starting with the creature on the left flank and proceeding to the right, until each Keyracken's creature is exhausted. When the Keyracken is used, it reaps and gains 1. Occasionally, it gets prey. One of the Keyrackens when one of the Keyracket's creatures is used, that creature reaps unless it has prey keyword as well. All right, so these guys are just going to start reaping then, and trying to get value, whereas unless it says that they are going to prey, and none of them have prey. So what's going to happen here is we're going to flip our two cards. So the first card is Behold its Grandeur. It says, play the Keyracken. The Keyracken gains 1 amber for each creature you control that shares a house with one or more of its neighbors, to a maximum of 4. So, the house with one or more of its neighbors. He gets 1 amber for each creature you control that shares a house. That's 4 amber because I have 2 and 2, right? So he gets 4 amber right off the go. So that's nuts. That's nuts. He's hurting me here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then he's going to reap as well. Oh wait, I gotta finish the other card now. The other card is Beast of Dark Legend. Beast of Dark Legend says, play. The Keyracken gains 1 for each of your unforged keys. If the tide is high, the Keyracken archives 1 adventure card. So now he gets 1 amber for me having a key, and he gets to archive a card for next turn. Which that's a sad day for me. Like, this guy is really rocking on me right now. All right, and so then he's going to reap, so he'll get his 1 extra amber for reaping. And then this is going to reap, and it says if the tide is low, the Keyracken archives 1 adventure card. So thank God it's not. So it's going to reap, gaining 1 more amber for the Keyracken, and then the other guy is going to reap. So the Keyracken shoots up to 9 amber that quickly. I don't feel good about this anymore. All right, so with that said, the turn will pass back to me. Man, that was brutal. All right, so for my turn, I am going to call Sanctum. I'm going to remove these 2 stuns from these guys because I can. Hopefully they won't be stunned anymore next turn. So these 2 guys get the stun removed. Then I'm going to play a Orb of Wonder. I am also going to play a Orphean's Land Chosen, which is here. And that will gain me 1 more amber from the Chelonia, and it's still being high tide. So there's 5 amber for me. At this point, I think I go ahead and play my Cleansing Wave to gain 1 and take 1 damage off of the Taunty guy. And then I am going to play my Hammergram, and I am going to shoot the Slippery Arm, which will kill it. And when it is destroyed, it will do 3 damage to the Keyracken. Finally, we dented it. All right, so 3 damage. Only with 3 damage on it, we only have 27 to go. So let's update the life counter here. Properties, and this is going to now be 27. 27 life left. Alright. So we won't put a damage counter on it because we got the update on the screen. So 27 life left for the Keyracken. 3 damage tokens on it. And then I will ready up, as I have nothing else I can do. I am at check at least, so that is a powerful thing. I do have Orb of Wonder in play now, and I get to draw 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this looks like a pretty interesting hand for me. I might be able to get away with some cool stuff here. We'll see what happens as I continue to try to lower this Keyracken's armor and get to him. But alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick up his archives. As his archives have Behold its Grandeur. I'm just going to play this first because it might as well. The Keyracken gains 1 for each creature you control that shares a house up to 4. Again, he's going to net 4 amber. Oh, first he's going to advance. Sorry. He does advance with 6 amber. Getting ahead of myself here. Alright, 6 amber. He advances, so he gets his 2nd advance token, so he's up to 2. And he has 3 amber left over, and he's about to gain 4 more amber from that stupid Behold the Grandeur. So here's 4 amber for beholding grandeur, the grandeur. All right. So I get burned by that card. So let's see what the next card that comes up is. Drag your own doom. Drag to your doom. Drag to your doom says play purge your most powerful creature. If the tide is high, you may lower the tide instead. The tide was actually lowered when he made his key. Forgot to do that too. All right, so drag to your doom. Purge your most powerful creature. If the tide is high, you may lower the tide. So I get to purge my biggest creature. Unfortunately, actually, my biggest creature right now is him because he's on the Staunch Knight. So I'm going to purge this guy, and he's gone from the game. Sorry, Staunch Knight, you're gone. And then the second card we got is a Slippery Arm. So another Slippery Arm comes into play behind the big taunty creature, sadly. So with that said, we now have, at least I broke up a little bit of that illusion of grandeur card, right? Because that's pretty big, and it's gonna mess me up. All right, so what we do now is we move to the phase. He's gonna reap and reap, so there's gonna be 2 extra amber here from reaping and reaping, and then the turn is going to end. He's going to ready up his slippery arm. And I am kind of in trouble, right? Like, this is kind of scary looking. We'll see what happens, but I do have a big turn coming, so that's a good thing. All right, so let me look through my discard pile, as I know I have things in here. All right, we do have deep water Gruins in here, so that's a big deal. All right, so I'm going to be able to do some stuff here. All right, so for beginning of my turn, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to forge my key. Yay. Take away 2 more armor from that monstrosity of the Kraken. Alright, so 2 more armor gone. That's good for me. So he's down to 2 armor and a ton of freaking amber. And he's only like 2 spots away, which is going to be 1 very soon because I don't think I have a way to get him off of check with all the amber he has on him. So that is a sad day for me, but I think I can at least try to get some value here. Alright, so what's going to happen is I'm going to reap and reap to make 2 amber, and I'm going to use that 2 amber to raise the tide. Alright, so I'm only going to get this for 1 turn anyway because this Kraken is about to flip and drop it again. So that's dangerous for me as well. So 2 and 2, I flipped and raised the tide. Now I play my Chelonia. I get my 1 amber from the Chelonia. Now I will play my Milobi, which will gain me 2 amber from the 2 Chelonias. And then I will play a Witch of the Eye, gaining me 2 amber from the Chelonias. 1, 2, and using the Witch of the Eye, I will go and get a Deepwater Gruin, which will net me 4 amber from the Chelonias, because I got 2 Chelonias and the Deepwater Gruin, so that's 4 amber. So that's good for me. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a lot of amber right there. And then I am going to use my Gorm of Orm to search my deck. So in my deck, what do I have here? I have nothing great. So I was just trying to see what maybe I had. Damn. This is not good. Creature games 1. I think I take the Mollymawk here, right? Yeah, I'm going to take the Mollymawk. Alright, so we put that back. We're going to play the Mollymawk to the left. The Mollymawk will kill the red-handed registry. But it will gain 2 amber from the Chelonias. So, I have a lot of amber at least. That's good for me, right? I hope. I've never played this game, so I don't know what's left inside this deck that's going to suck for me, but it could be bad. Alright, so now I will ready up my line. As you can see, it is pretty loaded. Has lots of crap going on right now. And I have to try to get some damage on this Kraken. So hopefully when I make my 3rd key, I can kind of go to town on him. That's my hope. Alright, so I pass the turn to the Kraken, and the Kraken is going to do evil things to me after I draw 3 cards. So 1, Badge Mages, 2, 3. So there's some cool stuff, right? Your opponent's creatures gain Omega. Like, that could be good, Chronofire. Alright, cool. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is check. He's going to make a key again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 amber. When he makes that, he flips this back to low tide, and there is 3 amber on him, and 3 advancement tokens. So one more, he wins, and I lose. So with that said, now we'll play 2 cards. We'll see. Shield Arm, Taunt, Destroyed, basically gets a thing, so that comes into play ready, or tapped. Now, Left in its Wake. Left in its Wake. Exhaust your most powerful creature and each creature you control that shares a house with it. If the tide is high, the Keyracken archives are an adventure card. So, does this share? No. Does this share? Yes. Does this share? Yes. Does this share? No. Does this share? Yes. 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 Damn it, Kraken. You are evil. This Kraken is mean. I'm going to have to do an interview with it at the end of the Keyforge Adventures. Uh, see what it says. Alright. So he basically just wrecked me. And that also gives him an amber because it's in his wake, right? So that gets an amber now. And the card before that, Drag Yourself, did not, so that's okay. Alright, so, or not drag, I had a shield arm, that's what it was. Alright, cool, so now it's his turn. He's going to reap. If the tide is low, the Keyracken archives 1 adventure card, so he's going to get 1 card into his archive as well for next turn, and he is going to gain 3 amber. So that might be game, folks. Keyracken may have bested me on my first game against him with a Dark Tidings deck. But this Keyracken is pretty nasty, man. So there's that. So now we'll ready up the cards and take my turn and look at my impending doom. Actually, I have a chance. Let's see. We're going to play 6 amber here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll put these 2 down here for now. And we will flip the key, making him lose his last bit of armor, which is a good thing for me, right? That at least seems fine. And I will. Alright, so lands chosen. I need to flip the tide at some point, but first I need to reap so I can capture 2, right? Because if I reap and capture 2, then I have a chance. And then I can fight and gain 2 more. That fighting is going to help me much. But that taunt is next to the Kraken now, too. So that sucks, because that means I can't get to the Kraken in a straight away fashion. So that kind of is a rough play, right? So what we're going to do here is we are going to play... We have to play... Yeah, I have to go Sanctum because I have to basically reap and capture 2. So he's going to capture 2 from the Kraken. And then I am going to pay 2 to raise the tide. My last ditch hope. And then I'm going to use Orpheals to fight the... I'll attack the Keyracken and put 3 more damage on it. That makes a lot more sense to me. So let's do that, as that gives me at least a chance to do damage here, right? 2, 4. Harlan, go away, please. You have a number wheel. Go. No. Done. Alright, so we learned that and we do that. With that said, we go back into the Kraken's turn. So the Kraken cannot forge a key because it has high tide. And all this is ready. Right, all this is ready. Alright, so all that's up and ready. Alright, cool. So first things first, let's look at what the card is. This is a Crushing Arm. It's a creature, comes into play. It says prey on the least powerful flank creature. Destroy, deal 3 damage to the Keyracken. Okay, cool. So there's that. It comes into play. Now the first card of the set is Race to the Surface. For each time the Keyracken has advanced this game, it archives 1 adventure card. Draw that many cards from your own deck. All right, so he's advanced 3 times, so he's going to archive 3 cards. And then he is going to let me draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Does that help me any? Probably not. Don't think I'm going to be able to kill him, and that's what I have to do. And I don't think I have the capability to do that, but maybe. We'll see what happens. I can definitely put some damage on him. It looks like 10, 17, 19, maybe. Maybe. I got 26 damage. I could kill him if he doesn't have a way to get rid of these things. And since he doesn't have any prey, I might actually still win this game. Let's find out. This is pretty close. All right, so with that said, Race to the Surface, he got a Crushing Arm. Now he's going to go through his turn, so he's going to reap. If the tide is low, which it is not, blah, blah, blah. So reap. So that's 4 more amber for him. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we might have squeaked this out, folks. And then he's going to ready up. And it's going to be my turn. And on my turn, I'm definitely going to call Untamed. And I am going to swing for 5, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and stun, right? So that's good for me. Wait, does it say creature though? Yeah, I don't know if that counts. I don't think you can stun the Kraken. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But either way. So 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24, 25, 26 damage. So boom, I kill the Kraken. And thank you for playing along with me in this Keyforge adventure. So rest in peace, Kraken and Abyssal Conspiracy. You're on deck.